life and shows and painting. Hi, everybody on YouTube. Welcome to Lure Painting Live. We're going to do some playing around with Bluegill's colors tonight. My apologies for my absence the past few weeks. I kind of took the summer off because my kiddos were home 24/7. They had me running like crazy, and weekends were just too hard to coordinate with our schedule to do the live show. So thank you for your understanding. My hair is crazy. My fan's on. It's about 100 million degrees in here. I've been painting in the sauna all summer. So I love summer personally. I love it, and I would not trade it for winter any day. But it is definitely getting old painting in 95-degree weather in my garage. I used to have an AC, but my kids always want the garage in so they can play outside. So it's just kind of a waste of. It's not even worth trying to run an AC. So I'm going to play around with some bluegill colors tonight. I've always done really realistic bluegill patterns, or I mean like what I try to make realistic bluegill patterns. So I thought tonight we'd just do some wacky stuff and just play around. I'm working on white crappies right now, followed by black crappies. They're all going to kind of resemble this swim bait right here. So this is kind of the pattern I'm going for. Obviously, there's not going to be this much detail on a crankbait, but it'll be close. So anyway, this is my white crappie pattern I did a while back, and I'll be doing some more of those and some crankbaits and all different styles. So tonight I'm going to auction this bait off. This was a bluegill pattern I did for, I practiced on this for a customer. I did it on a Psycho Gill, which is just a high-end resin swim bait made by Lanchiati Lures, and I don't know if that's how you pronounce his last name, so don't kill me if I butchered it. But anyways, they're hard to get. This pattern was really complex, and so I practiced it on the swim bait. So I only made one of these. It'll probably never be replicated. So if you want to buy it, bid in the comment section. I'll start it at $5. $4 to ship that. And by the end of the show, we'll have a winner. It'll most likely be a one of a kind because I don't think it was really, really time consuming. Beautiful. It turned out great. But I don't think I'm going to do a lot more of them because it would be too hard to mass produce. It was a lot of steps. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to actually, you know what? I forgot gloves, first of all, since I have paint all over me now. And then I forgot. I'm not used to painting water-based. I usually use paint, so I don't use primer. Lacquer paints, you just go for the white. There's no need for primer. But when I use water-based paints, I always use, this is just alcohol. If you ever get paint on your hand, rubbing alcohol will get it off. I use Stencil Res Primer by Badger. It helps with adhesion on plastic lures. So let me put my gloves on because I forgot. There will be a 15% discount tonight on any stock. I posted it in the description. Live 15 is the code, LIVE 15, and that's just through Sunday night. On YouTube, if you're watching, I didn't really post much in the description because I was having trouble with my computer and running behind schedule. So I didn't, you know what, I'm just going to use new gloves for time's sake. I usually try and reuse my gloves, but the sweaties have got them sticking. And these are like a different brand every time because I always just buy whatever's cheapest on Amazon. And these ones are extra sticky. So I'm kind of regretting that. But anyway, if you're not used to watching my show, I ask that you share it on your feed with your friends. And like my page if you have not done that, please. I had a lot of likes. I have a lot of likes on my page and a lot of followers, but I haven't gotten that many new followers. So I need to start asking again because it's kind of stale. So if you haven't, see now I just put white in there. I'll put primer in here. So please like my page if you haven't done that yet. Also, I'm on Instagram at Colorado Custom Lures as well. And then these will all be posted to YouTube also. One of these days I might start editing my videos, but I do not have time right now. I've got way too much crap going on to be doing that. So these are nice square bills. They have kind of a wide bill, so they dive a little deeper than your average square bill, probably about 3 to 5 feet, maybe 6. And they are flat side, so they have a nice roll, and they are really nice to paint. It's kind of a one knocker rattle. They've just got 2 counterbalance weights, and they do make a little noise. So these are really nice. A lot of people aren't familiar with them. I don't really know if they're a knockoff of a particular bait. It's possible, not that I'm aware of, but I like how they look when they're painted. They are very good quality. And so that's what we're going to paint on tonight. They look really nice painted up, and they're just good bait. They swim nice, and they're good quality. Like they're not thin. I always buy high quality square bills for my my store. They're pretty much just as good as a Lucky Craft or any brand that you buy. The square bills that I sell, I don't buy the cheapos. All right, so I'm just putting like just one coat, making sure I get the whole thing on each one of these. And I can't see your comments yet. Hang on, I'm going to pull them up. I'm kind of multitasking right now, trying to figure out what I'm doing in my head here and moving at the same time. So say hi if you're here. And let me see what everybody's got to say. I've been good. Great, my hair's blowing all over. I have a fan behind me. I usually have my hair back, but I hadn't put my hair. I don't know. I try to look presentable in my videos, but normally when I'm painting, I look like a hot mess. I don't usually have much of any makeup on, and my hair is always in a ponytail. I live in athletic gear because, I don't know, it's comfortable, and I teach classes too. I teach strength training classes a couple times a week. So I just live in fitness gear pretty much usually. Okay, so once I get this down, we'll move on to a white. I was using a 0.2. This is a Badger Chrome. So this is a 0.2. I have been using this one a little more lately. Not any particular reason. I don't feel like any super great need to use a 0.2. But I don't know. It was probably what was clean, and so I grabbed it, to be real honest. I usually just use a 0.5. If you're doing fine lines and you're like painting them freehand, the 0.2 is kind of nice, but it's not super necessary. So I wouldn't start with the 0.2, and if you're thinking about painting, I wouldn't start with a 0.2. Maybe just like buy one when they're on sale. The Badger Chrome is nice. Otherwise, the Sotar 2020 by Badger is nice too. I personally had a lot of problems when I was using water-based paint with clogging with my Sotar, so I sold it. And I bought this chrome. I don't remember if I bought it after that. I think I did, just to see if this one was any better. I do like it, but the majority of the time, I probably use just a Patriot or an Extreme Patriot, which is just it just has the high roller trigger on it, and then it comes stock with a 0.3. Okay. Thank you so much for the stars. Richard bid 5. So we're bidding on this baby right here. This is 1.8 ounces, I think. And it is a slow sink. And this is a pattern that will be one of a kind. So I painted one of these. I will probably not paint any more. Oh, baby powder. That's a good idea. How big was the perch? What perch? Are you talking about the bluegill? I know some people call bluegill perch, depending on what part of the country you live in. think it's 1.8 ounces. I believe those are 1.8. Let's just throw it on the scale. I can look it on my website. I have it listed on my website, how much those weigh. Yep, 1.8 ounces. This is my kitchen scale. That's what I used to weigh everything. So share the feed. Make sure you like my page if you haven't done so already. And let's get to painting some more. So I'm going to reduce this. This is just opaque white. We'll do a base coat. And then we're just going to do some fun colors. Chased by a gar. Oh, no. You outran the gar, I'm assuming, Anthony? I've never seen a gar in person, but my kids think they're really cool. They would love that. We've got pike and muskie, but no gar here. So I'm just putting down, like, you got to go. One of the biggest mistakes, I guess I should go back to some basics in case, like, some people that haven't watched me before start watching me again. When you're putting your paint down and you're a beginner, the key is to not put it on too heavy. So you'll want to do like nice, even, light layers and then let them dry. Use a hair dryer in between coats so that you don't get like so that your paint doesn't pool and so that in between coats. You'll have a lot less problems with like your stencil sticking to your baits, and you'll have a more even, smooth look to your paint work. So I just grabbed 4 of these just to, that way if I totally screw up and come up with something that looks like crap, I can just set it aside and repaint it later. There's no shame in starting over either. I see some people on some of the beginner pages, I don't always have time to respond, but get frustrated when they mess up. A little alcohol takes the paint right off. You can start over and it's all good. And the fish don't care. You caught one last year over 5 feet long. Ugh. That's terrible. All right. Yeah, I can't imagine. Like, I don't even know what I would do if I caught a gar. Do you just cut the line or what do you do? Depending on where you hooked it, I'm assuming you might. I mean, I guess you could just probably grab them by the nose, right? And like, as long as their nose is held shut, then you won't get bit. Is that true? I don't know anything about that. So I know what to do with the pike. I won't do it, but I know what to do with the pike. But I've never caught a pike. I've seen Chris catch a couple of them, but we don't really have pike in our lake that we fish regularly. And we don't target them. But he caught a couple down in Walsenburg, which is just south of us. They have pike, and he caught a couple for racing because he wanted to see them because they're cool looking or ugly, depending on who you are, depending on your opinion, I guess. They weren't that big though; they were just babies. Just probably I don't know how long they were, maybe 20 inches or somewhere around there. Okay, we'll call that good. Well, that more looks like primer. Hang on. I need a little bit more paint here. Yeah, I would definitely not grab them. Oh yeah, you mean like, do the teeth go outside their mouth too, don't they? Do they go outside their jaws, like they stick out like an alligator kind of? So I guess, yeah, you would probably need like something over your hand in order to even grab them by the nose. I don't know what I just did there, but that did not go well. Did I just grab the wrong thing? I'm grabbing the wrong bottles here, I think. What was that? What did I just put in there? I just put something in my gun that wasn't supposed to be in there. What does that smell? What did I just do? What was that? don't know what I just did. I just put something in my gun, and it smells funny. And I can't quite place it. It'll come to me later. Was anybody watching what I put in there? Of course, David, thank you. You can bid on this one. We're auctioning this one tonight. This is one of a kind gill lure. If you're on YouTube, you can also bid. This is one of a kind. It's at $5 is all right now. So it's a bargain if you, I usually sell this for $35. So now's your time to bid. I swear I put that in there, but something weird happened to my paint when I did that. Like it curdled. It must have been something else. I don't know. I didn't forget you, Arthur. Ross, hello. All right. So we had quite the summer. It was a lot of swimming, a lot of playing with friends, a lot of running around, a lot of boating, a lot of fishing tournaments. So Chris took over the kids tournament trail for Southern Colorado Junior Bass Club from his stepdad, Sam, who moved to Missouri. Richard. They moved to Springfield. So he took that over, and so he'll be doing that next year with the kids. And our team from the Southern Colorado Junior Bass Club just recently won the TBF Junior World Championship in Tennessee. And that was pretty exciting. That's the second time in 3 years that Southern Colorado kids have taken the World Championship. So, you know, Colorado fishing is tough. So when you get out in tough conditions, it doesn't really rattle these kids. They just kind of go with it. And they did a great job. So we were super proud of them for that. Madison, Robert Shaw, and Ryan Steinhoff. So look that up if you want. They are both from Southern Colorado. All right, so we're gonna wipe this out and I'm gonna do some colors. So what do you guys want to see for colors? What kind of crazy bluegill colors do you want to see? I've got an idea for one. So I'm just gonna kind of start with what my idea is, that I'm up for any suggestions that you have for colors. Share the feed if you can. I'd love to see us in the hundreds again, if possible. How much for the bluegill? I'm doing an auction on this bluegill bait tonight. Currently, it's at $5. So if you're interested, throw out a bid. And when the show's over, it'll go to the highest bidder. So this is a bluegill pattern that I did, one of a kind. I am not going to do it again. So if you like it, bid on it. And whoever bids highest, it will go to. It's at $5 now. Those square bells, I think you can get those on Sugar Tick Custom Lures website, if I'm not mistaken. Backwater Outfitting might have them too. I'm not 100%. I think I got mine at Sugar Tick Custom Lures, but I don't know. Don't quote me on that because I can't say that I'm 100% sure. Okay, so let's do some paintwork here. So I'm going to do, instead of doing a before scale pattern of black, I'm going to do this dark purple. It's mine, trust me. Don't say that because nobody will bid, Richard, and then I'll have to sell it to you for $5. And if I have to sell it for $5, I'm going to be really sad. Like, I'll do it, but I'll be sad. So, because I could easily sell it online for $35 all day. Okay. I'm trying to make it fun tonight. So if it goes for $5, it goes for $5. Okay, so this is called Tim Gore's Bloodline. It is deep bruised purple. So I'm going to put down some of this, and then we're going to do a scale pattern over it. I haven't quite decided what that's going to be yet, but we're going to have some fun. All right, so it's kind of a cool color. It's like a dark reddish purple almost. So these spray really nicely. They're already reduced. You don't have to put any reducer in them. $6. Hey, Peter, what's up? Thanks, Ken, for the bid. What countries? It's actually just a United States thing, I think, but they call it the World Championship because I don't think that TBF operates outside of the United States. If you haven't noticed, the United States tends to think of ourselves as the whole world sometimes. So I think it was just U.S. I don't know for sure though. But I'm pretty sure that the TBF probably doesn't exist in other countries. But I could be wrong. All right. Jason has a bid of 50. Did I miss that? Oh, I did. Okay, thanks. Oh, Jansen. Thank you, Jansen. Moss green and yellow. That is so, Anthony. That is not bright and fun. Get crazy. You're always coming up with the crazy stuff, Anthony. I know you got something better than moss green and yellow. My chair is so sweaty right now. It is hot in here. Okay. So we're gonna go over this with, let's do like I'm gonna do like a what do you call this? Pearl white. We're gonna do a scale pattern in pearl white over this, and then I'm gonna do like another color over that. And then we're gonna do like our stripes with the mesh on. So I'll tie some mesh on here first before I spray this, and then we'll see how this goes. So when I do my mesh, I usually just grab a piece of fabric, like this is loofah. It's like a smaller loofah material. When I do swim baits, I use a bigger loofah material, but for the crankbaits, I use the small stuff. Otherwise, your scales are way too big. And then I have these clips that I get from Amazon. They're just like alligator clips, and these are really strong, so they don't come loose. The only downside of these is that they're heavy, so they tend to kind of like want to flop to the side. But I haven't found anything that's flat like this on the top that is as tight as these are. So this is what I have, a ton of these, and then I also use binder clips, which are just these things. And I also use these to hang my lures up on peg. These things, okay? Because they're pretty tight too. And I use these to hang my baits up on pegboard. This is my white crappies I'm working on, in case you're curious. So in order to get it straight, you kind of got to put it on one in the middle hook, right? And then you got to clip it at the top. I've got a little noise on my iPad here. I'm going to turn this all the way down because I can kind of hear myself. 75 to Jansen, Matt 80. You guys rock. Busy summer in Massachusetts. Same. You know with the kiddos, right? Are you guys back to school yet, Jeff? We started Wednesday. So I was like, as soon as the kids go back to school, I'm going to start my show back up. But not that it's any less busy when they're in school. I just feel like, I don't know, I don't have to come up with something to do every single day. I have a little more time to myself to get work done, where I'm not getting bothered all the time. I might just have to stand up because I'm sliding off this chair because it's too sweaty. So I'll leave. You might not be able to see my whole face. I apologize. But it's too, I'm sliding off that chair. It's so hot in here. It's like 9. It's 88 still outside here. Yeah, it's 88 at 7:30. So it was like 93 today. And then Chris has a tournament tomorrow, and it's supposed to be 99, I think. So they're going to be dying out. They're going to be jumping in the lake. Last view, he's jumped in the lake. And they're like, what are you doing? He's like, it's hot. It's too damn hot. Okay, so you can use like a one of these. Okay, but when you're doing a pattern that's really complex, sometimes you don't want the mesh to move at all. So you clip them, right? You clip it on the whole thing. So this is obviously way more time consuming. So if you're doing a lot of lures, you know, if I plan on doing 100 lures, I'm going to not do a pattern that involves doing this because it takes too long. And I might lose my mind. But for the purpose of this show, we're just going to have some fun and we're going to do it the hard way. So now this stuff is not going to move. But see, that's how much time it takes to clip this. I keep needing to make like a wooden block with mesh inside of it that you can just like set your lure in and then clamp it down. But I never get around to it because I don't know, life. And you'd have to make a bunch of them because $100. Who bet $100 on that? Jansen. Holy moly. Thank you, Jansen. He's like, I need it. It is really pretty in person. It looks better in person than it does even on the video. So make sure you PM me, Jansen, so I know how to reach you. I appreciate your bids, everybody. Okay, so this is just a pearl white. It's Createx. This one is an Auto Air metallic white. And I like their metallic white. I can't get my hair dryer out because I just buried it under my computer. Hang on a second. Hopefully I won't unplug anything. I didn't realize I did that. Sorry. Okay. Because just what I need is a hot air dryer right now. Hair dryer right now. To make it even hotter in here, right? Okay. It's not plugged in. Son of a bitch. Excuse my language. I think I know what this is, so I'm gonna unplug this. I should have had them put a bigger. I had some electrical work done in here. I should have had them put more plugs. There's 4 right there. There's 4 on GFIs because like I had to beef up my garage electrical because I was kept tripping breakers. So I have too many things plugged in. They would grossly underbid the project too. And the guy was in here for like, I don't know, 6 hours or something just to run 220. And I think they thought it was going to take like an hour. But like there was much less room in the ceiling than they thought there was. So it just ended up being like this whole big mess. But they did it right. I mean, I have to give them props. Despite the gross underbid, they did a great job. So if you're looking for electrical work, I'm blanking on what their name is now. J and something. JD? No, I don't know. I forget. The guy lives like right down the street. Anyway, they did a great job. So, you want to see the bid item again? Yes. This is 1.8 ounces slip ink, and it is a one-of-a-kind pattern. I did this on a Psycho Gill for a customer who wanted this pattern. They sent me this to match, this fish to match, and the picture looked like this. I'm sure it was like an artist's rendition of some fish, and so I just did as close as I could, and I got pretty close. I can show you guys the reference photo sometime. Okay, so now we have that going on. So let's do some green. Let's do this. This is called Phthalo Green. It's pretty bright. So I'm probably going to go over it with something not so bright, but we're going to do a little bit. It's like a blue-green color. So we're going to do a little bit of that on top sides. And I might, and then I'll probably go over it with like a little bit of a darker color on top. But we're just going to have some fun. Oh, you guys are the bomb. I didn't think you guys had bid this high, but I greatly appreciate that. hot pink body, purple scales, and chartreuse gill lines. Everybody tries to layer the fluorescence, and that's a lot harder than you would think. So the problem with layering fluorescence, and this is a lesson for anybody who's learning, is you really can't layer fluorescence because they're all transparent. So when you lay one on top of the other, it just changes it to a different color. And some of them won't show up at all. Like if you put blue over top of pink, it'll just be like dark, almost black or something. So it doesn't really turn out, and you definitely can't do chartreuse over anything else except for white because it doesn't show up at all. Like it might change the color of what's under it just a little bit, but it definitely won't look chartreuse at all. You'd have to paint like white stripes and then do chartreuse over that. This looks pretty good actually. I'm not gonna lie. So that is phthalo green over the scales on the high sides. There's a purple under this white pearl, and I think it looks pretty cool actually. Okay, so I'm gonna clean this out. It's like allergy season for me too. My nose always itches when I'm doing my live shows anyways, because I don't know why. It's like, somebody's talking about you, so your nose itches. But it's that season for me where my eyes itch and my nose itches and my skin itches, and it's just that time of year. All right, so I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to do a little bit of I'm thinking about this while I'm talking. I'm going to do a little bit of color shift, purple blue, like on the cheeks. We'll see how it goes. And then we're going to do just a little bit of like orange along the bottom sides. This just spit out. The heat is like making my stuff explode. And then I'll go over the rest of the belly. Will be solid on the bottom because you can't really do a scale pattern across the belly, but they're not scaly on the belly anyway. So, but on the sides they are. See the scales there. 135. You guys, if you're wondering what we're bidding on right now, we are bidding on a swim bait that I will show you in a minute. You were on the lake at 5 p.m. and it was 67. You were freezing. I probably would be freezing too. I like my temperatures 80 and up, personally. But it's also not humid here, so it's so much more tolerable than the Midwest or the South. These 90-degree temperatures aren't as bad here. It's usually pretty dry. So this is what everybody's bidding on like crazy. So this is up for bid. This is 1.8 ounce Gill slow sink swim bait. I think we're at like 135 right now. So who goes to the highest bidder, it will be a one of a kind. There's a Psycho Gill out there that matches it, but there will probably not be another one that looks exactly like it anytime in the future. Okay, so I just put a little bit of a color shift. I don't know if you can see that. Blue, purple, right? Like on the underneath the eye, like on the cheek. Okay, and I'm going to do that on the other side too. That's the one thing I like about water bases. They have all these great colors that you can't get in like without buying automotive paint. You can't really get those colors as easily in lacquer. You can get some stuff, but you gotta buy House of Color, and like a bottle of House of Color, this size is $40 last time I checked. So it's not something that you can just like stock up on. Granted, you're not going to use those colors very often, so like you'll have the bottle for a really long time, but it is super expensive. And then automotive paints are, really expensive too, and I don't think you can buy them in small quantities like that. So, like a lot of these professional or a lot, not professional. A lot of these big lure companies are using probably automotive paints because they're buying them by, you know, the gallons, and so you get all these unique colors that you don't see very often, you know, and can't replicate. It's because they're probably automotive colors. Okay, so I'm gonna take some orange and go along the bottom sides. We're probably only gonna get like 2 colors in tonight, honestly, because it takes time to come up with these colors. And you don't have to scale all these out. Like, they look better with scales on them, but it's not 100% necessary all the time. I've been doing my bluegills with scales for a long time now. I haven't done one without in quite. Okay, so this is a candy orange, I believe. This is like a super old ball of paint. Yep. It's a Auto Air Candy Orange. Just a drop is all you really need, a little reducer. So I'm just going to go across just a little bit. This kind of has a curved bottom a little bit on it. So I'm just going to kind of go along this edge right here and do a little bit of scale work. Fishing is picking up on Table Rock. Isn't fishing always good on Table Rock, though? I mean, like, seriously. Isn't it, though? So you got it right, Richard, though. You go at night. And, like, that's the best time to fish, in my opinion, is at night. But I don't want to stay up. So Chris, occasionally he takes Grayson, like, just after sunset, and they always catch a ton of fish when it's late. And it's much, much harder during the day. I always tell them they should do night tournaments, but still it just never happens. So it's not my call. But I think you catch so many more fish. Okay, so it's not quite dry yet. This is so hot. I don't like heat. So I just did a little bit of orange along the belly there. I'm just making this up as I go, by the way. I have no idea. I did not have a plan. I had a few colors in mind, but that's about it. It's been so hot, the fish move deep. Yeah. Yeah. Same here. They're still deep here, I think. Although I don't know for sure because I haven't fished in a couple weeks. We had a tournament last weekend, but that was at the ponds, and it's just really tough at the ponds because we have a set of ponds that are on the other side of the dam here. We have, oh shoot, not yet, sorry. I was getting ahead of myself taking that off. We have a set of ponds here, and that's where we do our kids' tournaments. And the water there is always really hot, so it's always hard fishing. Usually, like, the kid that catches one big fish, like, will win, or somebody that catches like 2 or 3 fish wins, because it's just hard. So I'm gonna put some black in here. This is my 0.2 brush. So this is just Wicked Black, Createx Wicked Black, and I'm gonna thin it down. What's in this ketchup bottle? That's just Createx reducer. Whatever reducer, they have a couple different ones. I think the 4011 is meant for hot temperatures. I have no idea. I think that's 4013 or 4011. I don't remember. 140 Jansen, thank you. I thought you were already. Oh, was it Matt that bid 135? Thanks for the bid, Jansen. Like my page if you haven't already, guys, and also my Instagram, and share it if you are so inclined. So here's my stencil. I just drew this with a software called Autodesk by Adobe, and it's free, and you can get it on your iPad. If you have any kind of a device that has a pencil, I just trace it on Autodesk. It's called Sketchbook now. I think they took Autodesk out of the word for the app. It's just Sketchbook. And so anyways, I just trace whatever fish, like stencil pattern I want to use. I just trace it with the pencil, and then I import that into my Silhouette Cameo software, and then I have it cut with stencil material in my Silhouette Cameo. You can do it with a Cricut too, same thing. And so that's the easiest way to make stencils on your own if you have all that equipment. If you don't, you can just do good old-fashioned tracing with tracing paper. You can do, you know, draw something on in black marker on a white piece of paper, and then take a like if you have the Cameo software, you don't have the iPad with pencil, like draw it in black on paper, take a picture of it, then import it into your Cricut or Silhouette Cameo software, crop it up, and then you should be able to cut it. As long as you use black marker and the lines are crisp, you should be able to import that into your software and it will work. So that's one way around it if you don't have all of that stuff. These are all things that I got, like I asked for Christmas and birthday. The iPad, the pencil, the Cameo. They were my Christmas and birthday presents over a couple of years. And so that's kind of how I got everything that I have. So I just did a light transparent black, you know, lines or whatever with that stencil. Okay, and then I'm going to do the other side here. You're going to move to, you're going to move to Kissimmee. Chris used to live in Florida. He did, he lived in Denellen, which is not that far from Ocala. Fishing is good. Very, very hot. Very, very hot. He's not a fan of that weather. But his grandpa had a property there that he rented out, and they were fixing it up. So he went to help him with it. He lived there for, I don't know, a few months, like 6 months, a couple times with his grandpa, and helped him out. Okay, so now let's take off this. These colors are looking like, I hope this looks as good after I take these off as it does now. Okay, so I got some stickage. So my mesh stuck a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but like right up here, there's a little bit where it kind of pulled. The mesh stuck to the paint. That was just because my paint underneath was not dried well enough. This side's not too bad. This side has a little bit of spots where the paint pulled off from the mesh. So that happened. You just kind of have to be careful. I'm moving a little faster than usual right now because I'm doing my show. So it'll happen. So let's go down the belly with this orange since I have it in my brush now. And we'll get that done. You can kind of paint over the scales. It won't erase them. It'll just kind of fill in the lines a little and blend it a little. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'll show you in just a second here. So there's the belly of that. Okay, so I just kind of blended it in here. And then these colors turned out really pretty. So now let's go to the top. And I'm thinking let's do we don't want to do a moss green top, or should we go back to that dark purple? Or maybe purple and then green? Or am I way off? I'm thinking definitely not dark. Let's do the purple, and then I'll go over the very top with the moss. Okay. So I'm just cleaning this out. I use these little disposable paint brushes to clean out paint in my brush. And then I just kind of rinse them and wipe them off on a paper towel. And then just flush out your brush with water. And you can use alcohol if some of it's dried in there. You can squirt some alcohol in there and then just use like a paper towel or your brush to scrub it out. And it's less important if the color is lighter than the color you're putting in. If the color that you're putting in is much lighter than the color you just took out, you got to make sure it's really clean. Otherwise, it'll get mixed in and it'll look like crapola. yellow on the top, it won't show up. That might be what it is, Anthony. I don't know. I'm not sure what this is a knockoff of. To be real honest, I don't really know. They're nice. I know that. So all I'm doing is just blending a little bit of this dark purple along the very top sides over that phthalo green. I'm not covering it up. I'm just kind of blending them together a little bit. And then I'm going to do some dark green on the top. So I'm going to clean this out. This is what it looks like so far. There's a little bit of color shift on the cheeks, which I might do some more actually on there, but I might wait till later to do that. And then this is moss green, which is just a wicked detail color. It's more of a shading color, but it's a really good fish color. It's like a dark green. You can mix it with brown to make it a muddier green as well. It's more like a forest green, hence the name moss green. But wow, that actually looks brown over top of this purple. Who'd have thought? I should have known that. I'm just doing a little quick dry here. You were thinking yellow? What? Oh. You're wanting like my next one to be yellow? Is that what you're saying? And this is definitely like one of those baits that needs a little bit of glitter, right? This one needs glitter in the clear coat for sure. So I got some really super, super fine glitter that you can almost spray through an airbrush. Well, I would say almost would be the key word there because it'll clog your airbrush a little bit. You have to use a 0.5 at the very smallest, and even then it doesn't spray great. But it's really fun, and you can just kind of sprinkle it. If you can figure out a way to make it a little shaker with, I don't know, like poke some holes in something, I don't know, and make it into a shaker, you can just kind of sprinkle it on your clear coat before you do whatever you got to do to cure your clear coat, either hang it or put it under your light or however you do your clear coat or rotate it. Just sprinkle a little on there and then maybe do one more coat over top of that after it cures a little bit. It looks really good. So, okay, I'm thinking. I still have to do my black lines, but I'm debating on a little more of that color shift because I think the cheeks need it a little bit more. This stuff is really thick. If you've ever used this color shift stuff, it's like super, super thick. It's hard not to waste it because of that. Because you can't just put drops. It comes out in like a, you know what I'm saying? Like toothpaste, kind of. Okay. So all I'm doing is just spraying this like under the eyeballs where the blue would be on a Bluegill, basically. And I'm just brightening that up a little bit because it's there, but it's not as noticeable as I would like for it to be. So I'm just making it a little bit brighter. You want yellow? Do you guys want a separate one that's got a yellow base? Is that what you're saying? Or were you telling me to put yellow on this one? I'm not, because I'm not understanding. Okay, that looks better. You'll have to answer my question. Hi, Rob. Share the feed if you can, guys. I appreciate the shares. Like the page if you haven't liked my page. And also, if you're on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. Share my stories where you can. My page grew really fast, like over a couple years ago maybe. And then it just kind of slowed down. I'm like growing my Instagram more now, but it's kind of stalled too. It's really hard to grow your page. Like influencers make it look easy. It's not really that easy. It's a lot of time. Okay, so black, I've already got black in here. So we're gonna do the lines. So this is my line stencil. So you can cut this on a Silhouette Cameo also. Cat yellow on the back. I don't know what cat yellow is. What is cat yellow? I don't know why I don't know what that is. So I'm just spraying these kind of like erratic. I don't spray the whole line necessarily. I just do like part of the line so that it's not one straight line on both. You're just kind of doing like a broken up line. My paint is too thin. The paint's a little too thin, so it's got a little bit running. Okay. In one spot, it's a little bit running, but it's too late. It's not really fixable. This is just a prototype, so it'll be okay. It's not very noticeable, but so I just do like a little broken line. I don't know if that's, sorry, my camera on YouTube is not focusing very well. I don't have high-tech equipment for YouTube, you guys. Amateur, very, very amateur. Okay, so all I'm doing is my outlines right now. These should match up. I shouldn't have to check them, but I don't trust my stencil. I don't trust that it's right. I don't trust that the dimensions are correctly matched up with the other stencil. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeballing it. Okay, so there's our lines on this side. So I'm gonna do an ear flap. I had a stencil out for that somewhere. I'm not sure where I put it though. I just had it. Oh, I put it over here. Okay. So there we go. Maybe not. Hang on. I lied to you. I didn't mean to lie. Here we go. So here's a bunch of curves I cut out for ear flaps. So just line that up, kind of behind the eye. Oops, wrong brush. Okay, and I'll show you this when I'm done here. Just a second. This is one way you could cover up a few of those spots where the mesh stuck with the ear flap, because it's kind of in the same area, but I didn't cover it all. But okay, so that's what it looks like with the ear flap and the colors. And then I'll do a little bit of shading inside the eyeball socket with black. Make that eyeball pop. And then I'll move on to another color. So this one is pretty cool. I like it. Okay, next. Let's do yellow with a tint of magenta. Interesting. Okay, we'll do one on the back that has cat. Oh, the yellow that caterpillar paint. So it's almost like an orangish yellow. Do you leave your needle protector on or take it off? The badger brushes, unless they have a crown on them, they don't have a needle protector. Like I don't mess with them. I don't mess with like how they if that makes sense. I have an Iwata, and I just leave it on, just because I usually paint with lacquer paints, to be real honest. So I don't have the clogging issues that you get with water-based paint. It's way more toxic and like it's more expensive, but it doesn't clog your brush the same way that water-based paints do. And that's the one advantage of it. So let's go with a more traditional black, and then we'll do. You said you wanted a yellow back. So what color are the sides gonna be? If we do a yellow back, what color are the sides gonna be? Or give me one of the colors, and I'll improvise from there. Don't say green. You're probably gonna say green, aren't you? I know you guys. We're trying not to be boring tonight. Everybody's used to me doing like more realistic color schemes, so it's hard. It's hard to think out of the box sometimes. Every once in a while, I'll throw in like a walleye session. I don't do a lot of walleye baits because they're hard to sell for whatever reason, but you wouldn't think. But I also don't. I'm not great. I don't know. I'm not that great at them. Like I see my friend who does these vertical jigs and lures, and his are so good, and I just feel like I might will never look that good. I guess if that's all you're doing all the time, though, you'd get really good at it after a while. He's the one that has the. I have one sitting here somewhere. Have you seen the stand-up blades that he does? You should check his stuff out sometime. Vertical jigs and lures. Anyway, also guys, I have some new bladed jigs in stock. There's some spinner baits in stock, and I have a bunch of new plastics too that you guys should check out that were just added in the last like month or so. So if you haven't looked in a while, go ahead and look. I am doing the live 15 for 15% off code through tomorrow. So if you want to get something new, shiny new, and get a little bit of a deal, live 15% off all my regular price stuff. Everything on clearance is half off right now. Still quite a bit of stuff in there, so check it out. Where did the bidders go? We are at 140 right now. Is that right, or is it for the swim bait? Yeah, 140. So if you guys want to bid any higher than 140 on this slow sink glide bait, that is where we're at for our bid. It is a one-of-a-kind color. I only made one. I do not have plans to make any more. So it'll be a one-of-a-kind. It's very, very cool looking in person. Lots of layers and lots of colors. Okay, so all I did here is black and bone. Okay, so I'm just doing the base here. I'm still open to color suggestions. Just did a bone, old bone, Createx old bone white. It's the best bone color if you just want something straight out of the bottle and you don't want to mix it. That's the best one. Cat yellow is the yellow that, yep. I don't really know how to make it, but I'm guessing that golden yellow with a little brown is probably not too far off. A yellow with a tint of magenta. Purple scales. Hey, Brad, how's it going? Purple scales. Okay. So when you say purple, we're going to go crazy. We're going to do violet, fluorescent violet. We're going wild and crazy tonight. A little bit wild and crazy. All right. So this is Createx Fluorescent Violet. It's going to be bright. Get ready. You don't want to do this too heavy. It's not going to be like the fluorescent colors. They do not come out very bold in one coat. You have to do multiple coats, or if you want it to be transparent and not quite so bright, then just don't do it. I'm probably not going to make it like super dark. We're just going to leave it semi transparent. Okay, so it's kind of like a pinkish purple. It's like a bright pinkish purple. I'm thinking about what my next step's gonna be. I know you guys said you want a cat yellow on the back. I'm thinking about how I'm gonna make that happen. I have an idea. What if we did like pearl white over top of this purple on the very high sides, and then we did the cat yellow kind of blending downward over top of those white pearl. My brush is kind of clogged. Oh, it's empty. That'll do it too. Okay. Let's try this idea that I have. And then I don't know what I'm going to do on the low sides in the belly. What about like a orange and then a red on the belly? Like let's do orange and then I'll do a little bit of red over top of it. This is a different orange though. This is just Wicked Detail orange. So I'm going to do a little bit of this right here. So you can kind of see where I'm doing that, right? It's okay if it goes over the purple just a little bit. I'm just making things up as I go, everybody. If you're just joining me, I don't really have a plan tonight. We're just having some fun with Bluegill colors. I'll show you the one we did earlier. If you missed it before the show ends, I'll show you it. And then we're bidding on a swim bait. Hello, Tony. Hello, Terry. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the code for in-stock items, 15% off through tomorrow on regular price stuff with code LIVE15, LIVE, in all capital letters with the number 15 after it at checkout. Also, my shipping is reasonable. And I have to say that because I hate it when people gouge you on shipping. Like suppliers do that sometimes. Not the blanks, not like the sugar tit and like backwater outfitting. Those guys are good. I'm talking like bigger companies, you know. Sometimes they like. There's a few. I don't want to name names, but anyway, I don't like it when I get gouged on shipping. So I charge $5 for anything up to a pound, and then after that, $10. So my goal is to break even with my shipping and not to make money out of it. Okay. On the top, we're going to do some pearl white to go over the high sides, and then I'm going to layer that with cat yellow at the request of Anthony. Were you the one that suggested it first, or was it Arthur? I don't remember. Y'all were talking about it together, so I don't want to give the wrong person credit. So we'll see what happens here. I'm trying to figure out a way for that yellow to kind of show up and blend. And the best way I can think of to do it is with a white pearl scale first. Okay, so we're going to do white, metallic white. This is Auto Air Metallic White by Createx with a little reducer. Stir that up. Make sure you get all the chunkies out if there's any chunkies. My paint all has chunks in it because it's all like years old. Okay. Richard, you were the one that suggested cat yellow first? Perhaps I forgot it. All right. Here's what it is. My apologies. Make sure you like my page, share the feed if you can. I'll be here every Saturday, barring like any things I have that conflict with that. I was not here over the summer because my life was too crazy with my kiddos and stuff. But I'll be back. It's so hot in here. Sorry, I don't mean to complain, but whew. At least I don't have studio lighting on top of it. That's one good thing about having really crappy videos is I don't have to sit under studio lighting. Oh, see, I'm making a positive out of a negative. Did you see how I did that? All right, so you got to do this kind of in layers, otherwise it'll like my